Hello Culers, it's Pablo here and welcome back to Barca Universal. Following our traumatic defeat to Athletic Club in the Supercopa, we all have now had a few days off. We've had a few days to take it all in, just get away from Barcelona for a little bit. But now we're back and we're actually taking on Cornellà away from home in what is our first Copa del Rey match of the season. So we're back in the Copa now, guys. It will be a test in a weird way, of course. We'll be discussing everything as the video goes on, but an expected rotated Barcelona side will turn up tomorrow. And really, guys, we have to win because let's set it straight. The Copa del Rey is all we've got for this season. It's our best shot at a trophy. So let's go for it. And this one will be an away fixture for Barcelona, so we will be staying in Catalonia, of course, the Catalan derby, and Cornellà Stadium, actually, is right next to that of Espanyol. So this was an interesting one, a short trip for Barcelona, but a Catalan derby nonetheless. It's yet another away fixture, of course. We've been playing away from home all month long and will continue to do so on the weekend in La Liga to Elche. But what's interesting about Cornellà away is that it's actually an AstroTurf pitch. As a lot of the sides in the 3rd and 4th divisions of Spain are, they don't have a normal grass pitch, if you like. So it's going to be hard, it's going to be tricky for a few of our players. But if we want to win this trophy, we've got to make sure we get past the first hurdle. And I actually want to begin with Cornellà because I do honestly think this will be a real test for Barcelona tomorrow. And I have a lot of reasons why I think that. I'm going to start with the pitch because it might be just, a football pitch, just play on it, whatever. But I honestly do think for these players, our Barcelona players, when we come to these small grounds on AstroTurf, we're not going to be used to that one bit. And I think Cornellà will have massive confidence from that. Why wouldn't they? They'll feel so much more normal and usual, if you like, playing on that sort of turf. And I honestly do think that Cornellà, away from the pitch, they will just smell blood with Barcelona. We simply cannot forget that Cornellà knocked out Atletico de Madrid to get to this round of the Copa. So last round they beat the La Liga leaders, and now they're going to be coming here, guys, against Barcelona with some real belief. We can't also forget that Atletico didn't put out a bad lineup at all against Cornellà, so they've got their pitch, and why wouldn't they be confident? And I'll delve into this next point in a bit more detail when we move on to Barcelona, but I want to say that right now, we just don't have much confidence going into this one. Cornellà, for me, are on the opposite end of that. They will have confidence. They will smell blood. I think for Barcelona, the mood is pretty low. We'll have a 2nd or 3rd team out there tomorrow. We haven't had many training sessions before the game. We've only got back to training today, in fact, so the players have had some days off. Everyone's kind of been sulking a little bit. So I think for all of these reasons, a low Cornellà block on a small pitch on AstroTurf against a depleted Barcelona side, with them having confidence, is this going to be another difficult watch? I think it certainly could be. We also know in previous rounds of the Copa, we struggle in the early games. I think Cornellà will come here and they will have confidence. And unfortunately for Barcelona, we've got to be ready. We really have, because else we could be in for another upset. And I want to move on to Barcelona then, because I think over the years we've all seen, certainly in recent history, these away Copa del Rey games in the first round, they're just not fun to watch, guys. Let's just set that straight. The pitches are odd. We never really get going. There's little space. We heavily rotate. And I think tomorrow is going to be no different. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, we don't exactly come into this game full of life. I think we all saw some light at the end of the tunnel just a week ago. We won that amazing penalty shootout over Real Sociedad. We won our first 3 games in La Liga. The elections were looking set to happen. We were going to have Laporta as our president in just 4 games, but all of a sudden, the elections have been postponed to March or so. We've lost in the Supercopa final in really bad circumstances, and I think once more we have found ourselves in a bad spot. But I do honestly see the Copa del Rey as a chance for Barcelona to win a trophy this season, very much like the Super Cup. I did think we were there. You can win a trophy, you can get something, and this was no different really. If we win a few games here, 3 or 4 in a row, all of a sudden, we're basically at the final. We're in a semi-final if we win 3 games, guys. So that's how close we are. Despite the fact that tomorrow's game, it looks small, it will be irritating. Like I said, there's so many reasons, so many factors why tomorrow's game may not be a fun watch and a bit of an irritation to fans maybe, but to me, I see this as an important game. It's a game we should pay massive attention to, ensure we get through, because I would almost begin to prioritise the Copa. Like I said, we want trophies at Barcelona, and we're immediately presented here with another chance to get one. If we win tomorrow, we're in the round of 16, we take it a game at a time. If you win a few, you're very close to the final. And I think going into tomorrow's game, we're already thinking, what sort of Barcelona are we going to see? How many changes is Koeman going to make? And I think it's almost set in stone. I'll show you in a minute my predicted lineups for the game. We've got a few variations. I will walk you through everything you need to know about what sort of players we want to see. But I think for these sorts of games, everyone expects changes. Everyone, not only after a final defeat but after what we've seen from Barcelona this season, they want to see some new faces. And you look at the youngsters who's coming in, you've got players like Ilaix Moriba, also Ilaix Moriba, who massively deserves a chance in the first team. In my opinion, Riqui Puig, we can't forget, he also has to start tomorrow. Players like Trincao, Junior Firpo, who maybe haven't been the brightest sparks in Barcelona season, but definitely will get minutes tomorrow and probably will be there from the start. So I think Copa del Rey games, they're always a big opportunity to see who can come in, some rotations, a new look Barcelona if you like, and we haven't actually had a squad list released for tomorrow's game, which is a bit odd, on maybe by the time this video is out or by the time you guys are watching it on the day of the game or something, the squad list will have been released, so we will of course have a more clear picture, but I am expected a rotated Barcelona side. And without any further ado, let's get on to what that could look like. Because what you're going to be seeing on the screen right now is one predicted 11. For me, this is a predicted 11 we could see, but it's in our strongest form. So I'm going to go through it. Neto, of course, will start in goal. At right back, it will be Mingueza, I feel. Dest is once more injured. Left back, Junior Firpo will come in for Jordi Alba. At the heart of defence, I've put Umtiti and Lenglet. Umtiti, of course, will start. Then it's just between Lenglet and Araujo. I would play Lenglet just because I want Araujo fully fit for the league. In midfield, I've gone for Pjanic, De Jong and Riqui Puig. Whether he plays Ilaix Moriba is another matter instead of De Jong there, but you'd expect Pjanic and Riqui to certainly start tomorrow's fixture. And then up front, I've gone for Trincao, Martin Braithwaite and Antoine Griezmann. I do feel Messi, of course, is suspended. You've got Dembele, who I think will be rested. Look at Pedri as well, probably won't play. So I think if Koeman wants to rotate, of course he will. You're looking at Braithwaite, Trincao, Riqui, Pjanic, Junior, Mingueza, Umtiti, Neto. We have got some certain starters who will play no matter what. But then you move on to another lineup, guys, and this is something we could also see if Koeman wants to draft in a few of the younger players. So maybe he brings in Conrad on the left, maybe he brings in Ilaix Moriba for his first start in midfield, maybe he completely rotates Lenglet and he plays Umtiti next to Araujo. So there are some combinations he could do. You're also talking about Ilaix Moriba, who could play this game for me, deserves it maybe more than a few. Lineup-wise, I want to know what you guys think. I'm expecting mass changes, and I want to know what you guys think or who you guys want to play. But moving on to my match prediction, I've gone for Cornellà 1, Barcelona 2. I honestly do think these Copa del Rey games are tricky. They are a little bit painful to watch sometimes on these AstroTurf pitches. And I want to say I'm nervous because it's not something to get massively nervous about, but I wouldn't say I've got an over amount of confidence going into this game. I honestly do think this is a banana skin for Barcelona. We rotate so many players, we haven't had so much training. When the mood's already a bit down, in my opinion, when we're not playing so well and so quick up front, I do think these sorts of away games are just tricky for Barcelona. They're hard to watch, like I've mentioned, and I honestly think we've got to be really careful. I want to go for the Copa del Rey. Cornellà have already knocked out a big side in Atletico, and Atletico didn't put a bad lineup out that day, so we've got to be so careful tomorrow. I hope Koeman is. I hope the players are up for it because Cornellà will sit deep. They will hurt us on the counter-attack. Set pieces as well. I haven't even mentioned those. Please watch out for set pieces. But yeah, we've got a lot to think about tomorrow. This was, of course, a slightly shorter preview. There's not as much to say, but I honestly do think it was worth making a video on it. Of course, it's another Barcelona game. It's a trophy for me. We want to win in the Copa del Rey. And I also think it's actually quite a hard game, the one we've got tomorrow in Catalonia. So we've got to be really up for it. And hopefully we get the victory and we go to the next round. I'm going to leave it there, though. Please leave all your thoughts down below on tomorrow's game. I'll see you after it for the match review. Until then, hopefully you guys enjoy the game, and goodbye.